APTV کی فخریہ پیشکش دنیا بھر میں آباد پاکستانیوں کی ترقی و کامرانی پر مبنی پروگرام پاکستان کو ترقی کی راہ پر گامزن کرنے کے لیے دنیا بھر میں پاکستانی متحرک اور تیار دنیا بھر کے ملکوں میں پاکستانی کا ان کی ترقی میں حصہ دیکھیے بین الاقوامی منظر میں پاکستانیوں کا سماجی، سیاسی، تجارتی اور مذہبی امور میں بھرپور کردار
امریکہ میں اپنا پاکستانی امریکن ڈاکٹروں کی تنظیم پاکستانیوں کی سب سے بڑی آرگنائزیشن ہے جو تقریباً 40 سال سے آپریشنل ہے اور کئی مارکت العرا کام کر چکی ہے اور بہت سارے کام پاکستان میں اور مقامی طور پہ وہ انجام دے رہے ہیں۔ سین انٹونیو میں ہونے والی یہ کانفرنس ہر لحاظ سے کامیاب رہی۔ جیسا کہ آپ جانتے ہیں کہ ڈاکٹر عامر احسان کو کون نہیں جانتا، فلاحی، رفائی، سماجی سرگرمیوں میں ہمیشہ پیش ہیں اور اپنا کو بھی آگے بڑھانے میں اہم کردار ادا کرتے ہیں اور ہمیشہ سپورٹ کرتے ہیں۔ سین انٹونیو میں ہونے والی یہ تقریب کو فلی طور پہ ڈاکٹر عامر احسان نے، ان کی کمپنی کور پیتھولوجی نے اسپانسر کیا تھا۔ سین انٹونیو میں ہونے والا اپنا چیپٹر ساؤتھ ٹیکساس کا شاندار اور کامیاب فنڈ ریزنگ ہوا، جس میں تقریباً $100,000 سے اوپر ریز کیا گیا۔ یہ فنڈ ریزنگ فار فری کلینک اور فری موبائل کلینک کے لیے جمع کیا گیا ہے۔ یہ ان لوگوں کے لیے جمع کیا گیا ہے جو ان انشورڈ ہیں، خواہ امریکن ہو یا ایشیائی ہوں یا امریکن افریقن ہو، کوئی بھی ہوں۔ ان انشورڈ امریکن، غریب نادار امریکنز کو طبی سہولتیں پہنچانے کے لیے یہ فنڈ ریز کیا گیا، جو کامیابی سے ہمکنار ہوا۔ سین انٹونیو کے چیپٹر کے صدر ڈاکٹر محمد نعیم نے بھی اس تقریب سے خطاب کیا اور آرڈین کا شکریہ ادا کیا کہ انہوں نے بڑھ چڑھ کر فنڈ ریزنگ میں حصہ لیا۔ سابقہ صدر چیپٹر ڈاکٹر لبنان نعیم نے بھی اس تقریب سے خطاب کیا۔ اس کے علاوہ اس تقریب کی سب سے اہم ترین خبر یہ تھی کہ وہاں کے کونسل مین نے اعلان کیا کہ سٹی آف سین انٹونیو نے کرکٹ فیلڈ بنانے کا اعلان کر دیا ہے، جو بہت جلد کرکٹ کا ایک میدان بنایا جائے گا باقاعدہ، پروفیشنلی۔ میں سمجھتا ہوں یہ کریڈٹ جاتا ہے جناب عامر احسان صاحب کی انتھک کاوشوں کا، جنہوں نے ہمیشہ مقامی لوگوں سے رابطے بحال رکھے اور مین اسٹریم کو ہمیشہ شامل حال رکھا۔ اس موقع پہ وہاں ڈسٹرکٹ اٹارنی نے بھی پاکستانیوں کی تعریف کرتے ہوئے کہا کہ امریکہ کی ترقی میں مقامی پاکستانی اہم ترین کردار ادا کر رہے ہیں۔ تقریب کے اختتام میں معروف وائلن پلیئر جناب دلشاد صاحب نے اپنے فن کا بہترین مظاہرہ کیا۔ آئیے دیکھتے ہیں یہ رپورٹ۔
Please also help me show our gratitude to Mr. Curtis Luce and Dr. Amir Ahsan of CorePath Laboratories for sponsoring this event. Thank you all. My name's Lance Kimbrough, and I'm going to be your stage host for the program this evening. I'm delighted to be here to help conduct this fundraiser, which is such a noble cause for this community. I'd like to share with you all some information about our 23rd Congressional District. This 23rd District has very high numbers of indigent, underprivileged, and uninsured folks of all demographics, especially amongst minority groups. Our Congressional District has a population of several million, with over 800,000 registered voters. It's the largest geographical district in the country, and it extends from El Paso to San Antonio and as far south as just past Eagle Pass. Unfortunately, the 23rd Congressional District is also the most economically disadvantaged from the standpoint of healthcare coverage and ranks amongst the lowest in the country on that scale. Of the 23 counties that make up the Southern Texas District, some counties only have one, or in some instances, no physician presence for hundreds of miles. Understanding the plight that many in this district have, it's so commendable that this group of physicians of Pakistani roots are at the forefront of this great community service, providing free health care and education to our local communities. Please join me in giving a big round of applause to all of our members that help make this possible. Our program this evening is going to start with the recitation of the Quran by Afif, a local high school student, with a translation by a University of Texas at Austin student named Hassan, followed by the national anthems of the United States and Pakistan. Please welcome Afif and Hassan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
Allah most gracious, it is He who has taught the Quran. He has created man. He has taught him speech and intelligence. The sun and the moon follow courses exactly computed, and the herbs or stars and the trees, both alike, bow in adoration. And the firmament He has raised high, and He has set up the balance of justice, in order that ye may not transgress due balance. So establish weight with justice, and fall not short in the balance. It is He who has spread out the earth for His creatures. Therein is fruit and date palms, producing spathes enclosing dates. Also corn with its leaves and stalk for fodder, and sweet-smelling plants. Then which of the favors of your Lord will ye deny?
Introduce our first speaker for the night. Our first speaker is the chair of APPNA South Central Annual Meeting. Dr. Ishan is a board-certified hematopathologist and geneticist. He's a professor and the chief of the Department of Pathology at the Audie L. Murphy VA Hospital. He's an entrepreneur involved in community welfare projects at several levels and the generous host of this banquet. Please all give me a warm welcome for Dr. Amir Ihsan.
Thank you, Lance. honorable guest, District Attorney Joe Gonzalez, respected and wonderful friend Manny Pillais, our councilman, President of APPNA, South Central Chapter, Dr. Naeem, Dr. Lubna, Secretary of Central APPNA, Executive Council Member, Board of Trustees, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. I know that it has been pretty tight that we are here on the work day around Thanksgiving, so I'm very pleased and humbled that people have traveled from Houston as well as other cities to get together here for a cause. And the cause is really to raise funds for mobile clinic in San Antonio, as Lance was giving some of the data in our San Antonio about indigent patient, and so many patients have no medical insurance here. I would like to thank my assistant Sylvia for putting this program together, Selena Perkins, you see all these flyers and brochures and pledge cards in putting the program together, Curtis Luz for sponsoring the dinner for tonight, and just so many friends here who have made this as possible. So this journey started in 2016 when we have the Central APPNA Fall Meeting in San Antonio, where we were able to raise about $25,000 at that time. And the journey continued, and hopefully we are about to close the final number so we can bring the mobile clinic here in San Antonio. Thank you very much for your attention.
Our next speaker tonight is the president of APPNA's South Central Texas chapter. He's a board-certified gastroenterologist, an MD PhD specializing in advanced endoscopy and immunopathology of the GI tract. He serves on our Central APPNA committees for the elimination of hepatitis C in Pakistan and local communities. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Muhammad Naeem.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Thank you for joining us at this dinner banquet. And as you all know, we have the Honorable District Attorney Joe Gonzalez, District 8 Councilor, and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am a physician gastroenterologist by profession and have trained in St. Louis UT Health Science Center and Yale University Medical Center, New Haven. I have the privilege of holding this office of the president of this chapter this year, which is basically San Antonio, Austin, Rio Grande Valley, and all the neighboring vicinities next to it. So just a brief introduction, APPNA. APPNA is American Association of Physicians of Pakistani descent of North America. There are 20,000 licensed physicians, dentists, and medical scientists, about 40 subcomponent societies or chapters across North America. Very busy, vibrant, running health awareness campaign, free medical clinics, mobile health services, social work drives, education and mentoring of the youth, aspiring or entering medicine, medical research, or biomedical careers. Our chapter is also very busy with social welfare, disease prevention, philanthropy, and youth mentoring activities in particular that goes on through the entire year. This chapter is a shining light for other ethnic and physician volunteer organizations. It has been on the forefront of childhood obesity and diabetes prevention, breast cancer awareness campaigns recognized by outstanding volunteer service by the US Congress, White House, and the Office of the Surgeon General of the United States. One of our members, Dr. Lubna Naeem, has been leading and organizing these drives tirelessly to this day. Let's give her a big hand of applause. In year 2018 and 19, she's working with Center of Disease Control on detection and prevention of multi-drug resistant typhoid in the US citizen traveling to Pakistan and South Asia. Here, I must mention another outstanding accolade our chapter holds, for which we all feel very proud, that she is a local member and past president of this chapter and was able to rise to the office of treasurer and later secretary of Central APPNA, which she currently holds in 2019, taking her healthcare awareness campaigns to the entire United States and North America. We all wish her the best in future. Our physicians serve veterans, work in underserved and underprivileged areas all over the United States. South Texas has large number of these great talented physicians, and I call them angels. Our members own successful medical business enterprises, and they are engaged at grassroots and are part and parcel of the political process at city, state, and national level, keeping welfare of communities as their top priority and passion. Philanthropy is at the heart of this organization. We are doing this annual dinner banquet to get together in holiday spirit to do fundraising and expand the already running free clinic in collaboration with El Bari Clinic by adding a mobile clinic to it. We aspire to take the healthcare to the poor and needy in these underprivileged areas of San Antonio. We are counting on your support. Please donate generously this noble cause. We have Wahida Kara, a well-known community activist, social worker, and Sid Burkey, a famous community leader based in Houston, who helped build all Shaukat Khanum free cancer hospitals in Pakistan, and Namal University will help and moderate the fundraiser. We are very grateful to them for taking the time for this noble cause. So just briefly, the healthcare costs and access to it by the poor and the indigent is an enormous challenge, and it's mounting as the time go by. We, in our capacity, provide free healthcare services through volunteer work of large group of very talented physicians and specialists from all subspecialties, and they care for the patients with diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and other menacing ailments. There is a famous Urdu poet, Ghalib, I have to mention one of his saying, Ibn Maryam hua kare koi, mere dukh ki dua kare koi. It means, oh, the son of Mary, we seek you. We seek your miracle of healing in these times. Let's serve and help the suffering and those in torment. Next, I want to recognize and honor our chapter founding president, Dr. Shanila Latif, and members of Board of Trustees for their service. It's a young chapter founded as a non-profit organization in 2013, but has put APPNA on North American map as great welfare entity. Our sponsor and organizer for today's banquet, Dr. Amir Hassan, President and CEO of the CorePath Laboratories, has done a tremendous service to San Antonio community over the years. He has sponsored this entire event. My gratitude and commendation to his volunteer spirit and big heart. Thank you very much. We can't accomplish any welfare projects without the help of our donors, philanthropists, and volunteers. We owe enormous gratitude to them and recommend to them, stay thirsty, my friends, okay? That is for philanthropy and activism. To name a few, Dr. Seema Dar, Stono Gastroenterology, Dr. Urfan Dar, International Pain Management, Dr. Shazli Malak, PRL Labs, Dr. Khusro Rashid, Dr. Amir Hassan, and Dr. Lubna Naeem, and the other donors for the mobile clinic projects. Last but not the least, the inception of mobile clinic, like Dr. Ehsan mentioned, happened with the fund started with a very successful national APPNA meeting in 2016 under the leadership of Dr. Lubna Naeem, the chapter president at the time. Meeting made 100,000 profit, for which a portion was paid back by the central APPNA to our local chapter dedicated for the mobile clinic project. The resounding success of that meeting couldn't be possible without the exceptionally organized event by the host committee chair, Dr. Amir Hassan, and the committee members. Our generous donors for the national meeting fundraiser included Lymphoma and Leukemia Society, Dr. Huma Siddiqui, IPH Hospitalist Group, Dr. Mahmood Khan, one of our past presidents, CorePath Laboratories, Dr. Amir Hassan, Stonogastroenterology, Dr. Seema Dar, Peripheral Vascular Associate, Medtronics, and Dr. Umar Javed, to honor a few. Please forgive me if I did not mention any of other donors. It was a great team effort. I will end here. Keep the thirst for the volunteer spirit and philanthropy alive. Enjoy the evening and the banquet and this outstanding artist, Mr. Dilshad Khan. He is a world-renowned violinist. Thank you very much for coming.
If it looks like I'm skipping a few people, we do have a few doctors on call. That's part of the job. So the next speaker I'd like to introduce is the current secretary of Central APPNA's chapter. She's an internist, an activist, and a patient welfare advocate. She's the winner of the Congressional Award for Outstanding Volunteer Work and recognition for outstanding work in childhood obesity and diabetes prevention. And as a delegate to Bexar County's Medical Society and the Texas Medical Association, she was instrumental in helping pass legislation limiting the opioid prescription amount to 10 days. Please give a round of applause to Dr. Lubna Naeem.
Thank you, Lance, for your kind introduction. I would like to start by sincerely thanking APPNA South Central Texas Chapter President, Dr. Mohammed Naeem, and the chair of the meeting, Dr. Amir Ehsan, and their amazing team for arranging this banquet for the cause. This chapter is pioneer in many ways, and today I also see history in the making, where the chapter has the entire banquet, that is entry and dinner complimentary for its members and guests. A huge round of applause for this team for a great endeavor. Would also like to thank the executive committee members, Doctors Fawzia Ali, Fahad Inam, Khusro Rashid, and Dr. Kaleem. Board of Directors, Dr. Nasir Sayed, Mahmood Khan, Shahnila Latif, Shazli Malik, and Dr. Muhammad Munif for their services for this chapter and the community. Would like to thank also our other community members, President-elect of API, Dr. Anupama Gotimukula, and Dr. Jai Shah for their API contribution towards this cause. Dear members and the community, I'm humbly thankful to you all for giving me this opportunity to serve you as the president of this great chapter 3 years ago, as treasurer of Center APPNA, and now as the secretary of Center APPNA, and of course, as the chairperson of the mobile clinic fundraising for Central South Texas chapter. With the help of APPNA and chapter leaders, I feel proud to have brought this noble recognition to APPNA, the largest body of Pakistani American physicians in the world. I promise to continue to serve you on many platforms in weeks, months, and years to come. There is a genuine and awesome desire in this chapter to do great things. This chapter has a great future ahead of it, and we are all building it together. Our world is in need for more people who do things for the pure sake of helping one another, and we are in desperate need for such unity, and we are counting on you. We are united together for the sake of same mission and purpose, and that is to alleviate the suffering around us. The adversities and the disasters around us have inspired people to show unwavering and exemplary courage. We are building bridges through the power of compassion, and this is a perfect example and a trend of this journey. I would like to thank you all coming together to support the cause of APPNA Mobile Clinic. Texas continues to have the highest uninsured rate of 17.3% in the US, and that is about 5 million are uninsured. And they have to rely on paying ER visits to fulfill basic healthcare needs, costing our economy billions and billions of dollars. And most of these Texans, they reside here in South Texas. As we know, the biggest known cardiovascular risk is diabetes, and the total estimated cost for diagnosed diabetes is $327 billion. And the largest component of medical expenditures are hospital inpatient, that is 30% of the total medical cost, prescription medications to treat complications of diabetes, and the anti-diabetic medications and agents, physician office visits, so on and so forth. This is humongous. With the Medicaid budget cuts, we see more and more folks falling through the cracks. Much help is needed out there. APPNA South Central Texas chapter presented with the idea of collaboration with the community to take the healthcare to the doorsteps and to provide charity-based mobile medical services in medically underserved areas of Bexar and surrounding counties. APPNA Mobile Clinic will offer preventive care, cardiovascular risk screening such as diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, scheduled immunizations, cancer screenings, and resources of government insurance representative for enrollment, point-of-care labs and nutrition and behavioral therapy support. APPNA Mobile Clinic will also act as a first responder for disaster relief and refugee center. This unit will play the pivotal role in fostering the spirit of altruism and giving that we all harness in our souls. In 3 years, we project to serve over 1,000 patients and provide a cost saving of approximately $4 million. This means $1 good deed investment will return $40 in healthcare. We pledge to continue to offer compassionate care. Please join us in this mission to make this cause worthy of what we all have always wanted to do, and that is to alleviate the suffering around us. Your donations to the mobile clinic will provide healthcare access to poor and indigent of South Texas, relief in disaster-stricken areas and refugee centers. Together, we can improve the lives of poor and indigent. Before I finish, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Seema and Irfan Dar. These are our community pillars. And last but not the least, the ultimate community volunteers, Dr. Sohaib Haq and Sarah Samri, the founders of Al Barry Clinic. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you all for part of this historic benefit gala, and I hope you enjoy and have a great time. I would like to say in the end, do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Thank you.
Our next speaker I'd like to introduce is the Councilman of District 8 in San Antonio. He was elected representing District 8 in June of 2017. He's an attorney, but don't hold that against them, an experienced business and community leader. During his time practicing law, Mr. Pelaez represented homeowners, small businesses, and some of the largest employers in San Antonio. As Toyota San Antonio's first hire, he helped create over 4,000 jobs that transformed San Antonio's manufacturing landscape, and has since represented some of the world's largest manufacturers, bringing more jobs and investment capital to San Antonio. Please warm welcome to Councilman Manny Pelaez.
Thanks, guys. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your evening. A very important event, and Can I introduce you to somebody? As you can see, I didn't bring any planned notes for comments, but I'm going to do this on the fly, and I hope you'll forgive me if I stumble a little bit and if I'm a little clumsy. Dr. Naeem, those comments were beautiful, and there's no way that I would ever want to follow you again. I'm very nervous right now because the words you said are stunning in their beauty and in their profound effect that they have on me. I do want to introduce you to somebody. He's sitting up here, young man, 13 years old. His name is Max. That's my son. Max goes to BASIS. He's in middle school. And, on the way over here, he was asking me, what are we going to go do, Dad? And I said, you're going to love it. It's going to be great. You're going to have a blast. It's going to be one of the funnest nights. And so far, Max, you've sat through 4 speeches, and I know that this is not what you had planned, but I want to point out something to you. One of your favorite things to do is read comic books, and you and I both like to talk about heroes, right? Superheroes and all that. And I want to call your attention, and if you will, Max, kind of walk around the room with me a little bit, right? You're sitting among heroes. They're all in disguise. They don't know. They don't usually wear their costumes and their outfits out when they're at the Dominion. But I want to point out some of them to you, right? Dr. Hassan, Dr. Naeem. Seema Dar, is she here, by the way? Oh, thank God she's not here. I got to tell you, she's my doctor, and and I've been avoiding and postponing my appointment, and I'm afraid that she would grab me now and go do an endoscopy in the back room if she could. Max, doctors like Seema Dar, right? These are doctors that give their time away from their families, away from their patients, time that they could be, making money, right? Time that they could be vacationing, right? Going out with friends, time that they could, be, collecting things, buying things, and taking care of themselves. And instead, they give up of themselves, and they lead. And they lead by example. They lead by volunteering. They lead by sweat. One of the things that I teach Max is that leadership is really only about 3 things, right? It's the rules of leadership are really not that difficult. 1, you lead out front, and you lead out loud, right? 2, when you see somebody who needs help, you help, right? You don't ask, well, what are your politics, or what is your religion, or what color? You help, right? And the 3rd most important rule is you never let anybody distract you or keep you from doing number 1 and number 2, right? That's why I chose to do what I do, which is represent my community. I'll be honest with you, maybe like you, Joe, I ended up going to law school because I couldn't get into med school. Lance, I don't know if that's your story too, but I chose to be of service, right? Max and Sophia, my daughter, they ask me all the time, why are you doing this? And my answer to them is so you can see me doing it, right? And so that you will one day understand that you have no excuses to do small things. You are in a room full of people who are ensuring that the next generation has absolutely no excuses but to do the important heavy lifting. And boy, there's a lot of heavy lifting to be done in this community, isn't there? Dr. Naeem, you're right. Diabetes is killing us, right? We've got one of the worst health outcomes by zip code problem in the United States. You literally will die many years sooner if you live on the different part of town than if you live up here in my district. That is obscene. That's unacceptable. Infant mortality rates in San Antonio are different by zip code. You are almost guaranteed that you are going to have a worse time finding access to good doctors, even if you have the same insurance policy depending on zip code, right? It's tougher, and it shouldn't be. We have an opioid addiction problem in San Antonio that is deadly, and in many instances it's invisible. How many of you have ever driven by De Zavala and I-10 and seen all those panhandlers, right? Have you seen those? I have something to tell you, they're not homeless. We go frequently and talk to them and offer them, and they're like, no, my car's over there, I'm not homeless, right? The problem is that De Zavala and I-10, that one corner, gets 80,000 people a day driving through those lights. Those are very profitable corners, right? And if you look all around you, it's just hypodermic needles everywhere, right? That's the opioid addiction problem that we've got here in San Antonio. And the opioid addictions cause homelessness, and homelessness exacerbates opioid addictions, and the problem is getting worse and worse. For those of you that don't know, 1.5 million people live in San Antonio, 1.8 million people total, I believe, for the entire county, right? We are the fastest growing municipality in the entire United States. The fastest growing, and we have the worst economic segregation problem in the entire United States. That is a health outcome problem. And that's why, well, Max, that's why these folks are heroes, right? Because they've recognized the problem, and what they've decided to do is they see people in need, and they're gonna lead, and they're gonna lead out loud and out front, and nobody's going to let them get in the way. So I have two announcements today. Announcement number one, I believe in your cause, and I wanna be a part of it. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not Pakistani. Don't tell anybody, I'm not, okay? I wish I was some days, because I consider many of you in this room family. Announcement number one, my office would like to, and my office, me, I commit $1,000 of the small budget that we have in my office towards your mobile clinic project. It is a small amount. I also commit to you that I'm going to go back to City Hall and impress upon the mayor and the rest of the city council that each one of them needs to donate the same amount, okay? See if we can actually make a difference. The second thing I want to announce has nothing to do with health outcomes and medicine and the good work you do. Instead, I want to say thank you. And I have a very limited ability to say thank you, right? Well, what do? We do parks and streets and sidewalks, right? And then there's a fella in this room named Anwar Tahir. Do y'all know who Anwar is? Yeah? Sitting over there, all the hair on his head migrated down to his chin. But Anwar Tahir comes to me and he says, Manny, I need a favor. These Pakistani families, they want to be San Antonians, but the city doesn't feel like the city wants more Pakistanis to enjoy the parks or to be relevant to them. Let's change that. I said, what do you want? And he goes, a cricket field, but a real one, a real cricket pitch. How many of you are cricket fans? Okay, all right, all of you, yeah. And so I said, sure, let me figure it out. And I called him up one night and I said, listen, I think I got the money for the cricket pitches, but we got a problem. And he says, well, what's the problem? I said, can you manage 2 cricket pitches? And because I got more money than I thought I would. And it was done. So I'm happy to tell you guys that at Opie Bowl, here on the north side, you're going to be getting 2 professionally designed, brand new cricket pitches. Accessible to you and your families on the condition that somebody please recruit Joe and myself to play. Right, Joe? Right? And anyway, I'm going to leave you with that small gift. I do want to highlight something. He is too modest to mention it. He's going to come and talk after me, right? Joe's coming up here. There was a time when we had a district attorney that quite honestly would not have accepted an invitation to come talk to you, who was hostile to everybody in this room because of the book you read and who you love and how you pray. That is unacceptable. I can't think of anything less American than that. And the reason Joe won and is now our district attorney who defends all of us against the bad guys, right, is because Joe came out and put his foot down and said, no, that is not the San Antonio I want to live in, not on my watch. That is not the legacy I want to leave for my children. I insist that we can be better than this, and it's been good enough for now, but good enough is no longer good enough. So folks, when Joe gets up here, I really want you to know that you are in the presence of one of my heroes. And because Joe, you protect all of us, and thank you so much for coming over here and allowing these people to thank you personally. Thanks, guys.
Our next guest, as Manny said, is our current district attorney. He was elected to that position for Bexar County on a pledge to reform the office, to restore public confidence, and to make the district attorney's office more accountable to the voters. His primary duty is to seek justice, and he works closely with victims of crime, law enforcement agencies, and our community. Mr. Gonzalez not only seeks to require defendants who are found guilty of a crime to take responsibility for their actions and for any harm that they've caused, but to also lessen recidivism, prevent crime, and make Bexar County a safer and better place to live, work, and raise children. Please give a warm welcome to District Attorney Joe Gonzalez.
Well, good evening. I don't care what anybody tells you, the hardest job is to follow Manny Pelaez. Isn't he incredible? Good evening again, and I will be brief because I know everybody's looking forward to tonight's dinner. So I want to limit my remarks to giving you an idea of what I do for this county and what I do for you. But before I talk about that, I want to thank the members of APPNA for this incredible gesture, for this incredible invitation to be among you, because I believe in your cause and I believe in what you do, and I stand with you. That was not just a campaign speech last year when I visited with this group and I talked about the reasons that I was running for DA, because we don't tolerate people that are Islamophobic, right? We don't tolerate people that have different faiths and different religions just because it's not your own. Everybody has an absolute right to believe in their God and follow their religion. And you have that right. And I will stand by you every day that I have to defend you. So thank you for the opportunity to work for you. But I do want to tell you, I had a whole speech prepared, but really everything I've heard today has touched my heart about what you do, and this is really about you. It's not about me, but I want to tell you that part of the reason that I ran is because I am a firm believer in giving back to the community. I think being a public servant is one of the most noble professions that one could have. And we do that in the district attorney's office in a different way, but part of what we're doing is trying to make a difference. One of the things that I saw growing up, not only, because I grew up, I'm a product of the west side of San Antonio. We grew up poor. I come from humble beginnings, just like my wife did. And I remember times and wondering whether or not we were gonna have enough to eat, whether or not we were gonna have enough for Christmas presents. I remember hearing other friends talking about taking trips to Six Flags. Back in the day, Astro World was the big place to go. The best we could do is Kiddie Park on Broadway because we couldn't afford any more than that. But I remember some of my family members struggling to have the right amount of health care. And I knew that was a struggle for some members of our community, the Hispanic community. And so I've never forgotten that. And as a member of the legal community, one of the things I learned is that crime and punishment, like life, is not black and white. There's a lot of gray. There's a lot of reasons why people commit crimes like shoplifting. Maybe the reasons they take a loaf of bread or they steal that meat is to feed their family. Maybe one of the reasons they commit sometimes crimes of drug use is because they have a drug addiction. Maybe the reason sometimes they commit crimes is because they have mental health issues. One of the things we're trying to teach our prosecutors is to think outside the box, to think about the reasons that people commit crimes. And out of that is born the movement called criminal justice reform. What we're doing is part of a movement across the country to look at alternatives to incarceration, to do things that would avoid convictions, to do things that would give people that commit crimes an opportunity to avoid jail. One of the biggest problems that I saw coming into this administration is not one, but two people died at the Bexar County Jail because they could not afford to bond out. Both those individuals, they were arrested for criminal trespass cases. That means they were sitting at some park bench, sitting on a parking lot of some establishment, and the police came and arrested them. But they had mental health issues. And part of the reason that they didn't get out of jail is because they couldn't afford a $500 bond. Now, to a bondsman, if you come up with $100, you get out of jail. To I bet most of us have $100 in our pocket. But to these individuals, $100 might as well have been $10,000 They could not bond out. And so they languished in jail for several months. Both of them, after being in jail for 5-6 months, ended up dying. And I vowed to the Bexar County Sheriff, I said, that's not going to happen anymore. From here on out, we're going to establish a policy of looking at those cases and rejecting those cases that involve the homeless. If the only reason you're being arrested is because you're homeless and you're not bothering anybody, you're not going to sit in jail for 6 months until somebody brings you to court. And so we've done that. We have revamped that policy. But we've also done other things to avoid people ending up ending up in jail so that they can avoid convictions and they can avoid ruining their lives. In our way, what we want to do is we want to give opportunities to those individuals that maybe can't afford a good lawyer, that maybe have a reason to commit crimes. And that way, we want to do our part. But ours pales in comparison to what you do. You provide health care to people that are indigent. You provide health care for people that don't have enough health insurance, that don't have the $100 to give you when you go and perform the medical services. And so I'm humbled to be in your presence. I'm humbled to see that we have so many people in our community that give of their time, that are willing to help the indigent, that are willing to help the poor. Because, as Manny said, you could be out on the golf course instead of being in your clinic. And so it is important that we reach into our pockets and provide support. And now I don't have a budget like Manny does that I can volunteer, but I will today pledge $500 of my own funds toward this mission. So, I want to leave you with one thought, and that is that your oath is to do no harm. The oaths of prosecutors is not to prosecute, but to seek justice. So in a very similar way, we have the same goal, is to do the right thing and to help those that are less fortunate. And in some way, I hope that we both have the same mission, which is to help those individuals that cannot help themselves, and that we do it in such a way that we better our community and we make a difference so that people can say, the medical community in Bexar County, the medical community in Texas, and the medical community of this country is doing their part by helping those less fortunate. So thank you very much for inviting me to be here. I am honored that you opened your door and allowed myself and my wife and my daughter to be part of this wonderful evening. Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much for inviting me.
As a member of the Board of Trustees for the Texas Medical Association and former president of the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, please welcome Dr. J.S. Shah.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Lubna. You have a shining star in your association. I'm sure she's going to go up the ranks of Texas Medical Association. But I bring greetings from 55,000 Texas physician members, the largest state society in United States. Just not the largest, but the one which advocates the best for the physicians and the patients of Texas. I bring greetings from our president, Dr. David Flieger, and all 8 Board of Trustees who represent you. I really thank all of you to get me there. But at the same time, I want all of you to get involved. Texas Medical Association has International Medical Graduate Section, which has been there since 1985. Lubna is aware of that, and you all, that's the stepping stone how you can get involved in Texas Medical Association. Tomorrow, Lubna will be your president of Texas Medical Association. But you need to be there. You need to be part of that association. You need to be part of that membership. When you talk to physicians outside Texas, they will feel that the way we have got it here, no one has. Once they come here, they realize how strong our physician community is. We stand up for our patients. We work hard every day so that patients who are in the trenches and the physicians who are serving them are getting the best possible care, right? The three things I'm going to bring for you today, okay? How many of you are Texas Medical Association members, first of all? All right? So tomorrow, everybody needs to be the member of TMA because collectively we make a difference, okay? Let me give you an example why you need to be on the table. Because if you're not on the table, then you are on the menu. Everybody who spoke before me, they know that, okay? And why it's important, right? Number one, this legislative session, okay? My president told me, the Texas, when the legislatures are working, that's a danger, okay? Because there are a lot of bills that goes through that might hurt your patients. Think about it. So many scope bills. Everybody wants to do what you are doing without going to the medical school. It's an everyday fight, everyday struggle. There are 200 bills all the time, every 2 years those are scope bills that you have to protect your patients from. You don't want someone who is not trained to do something to your patients. Number one, you want to be making sure that you are there. Number two, a very successful prior authorization bill got passed in this legislative session, which is going to be effective January 1, 2020, which allows you to make sure that a physician who is doing utilization review has to be of the same specialty and has to be from the same state. Now, how does that help you? Because you have to remember that if a physician who is doing your utilization review for your patients and delaying or denying the care, then that physician could be reported to Texas Medical Board. Because when you do utilization review, when you are delaying the care, you are practicing medicine. Okay? So understand it's a very strong bill that passed. So we need to make sure that we are there. There are a lot of public health issues that we passed, which I'm not going to go into detail. Lubna can give you everything about it. She's always there in our meetings, but I want all of you to be there. And I really thank all of you to invite me, and I really don't want to stand anymore here because your dinner is ready, I think, and I'm the last speaker. Thank you so much. There's one more.
One of the doctors that I said wasn't going to be able to make it because he's on call is here. So please welcome the chair of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Nasir Sayed.
Hi, everybody. I'm very sorry. I just came directly from the airport. My flight was supposed to be at 4 o'clock, and I thought I have a perfect plan. I'm coming from LA, but it just got delayed. So I'm here, and pardon my appearance. I see a lot of important and powerful people up here. And once again, I thank you and welcome all of you and all distinguished guests, my fellow friends and their families, and my fellow physicians. And once again, thank you very much for coming over. And I'm sorry again that I'm a little late. This will be probably a shortest speech of this evening, considering I'm not prepared and I'm tired. But having said that, I tell you, I wanted to make a couple of points, which is very important. A few years ago, we all sat down and we decided that, listen, what is the way to go? Shall we, be a part of us as an independent, or shall we get a chapter for main APPNA? And when we decided that, we will do as a, just shake hand with the main APPNA and be a part of the big organization, and we made a South Central APPNA chapter. And since we are running a very successful projects, programs, and annual meetings. And I'm very grateful for all our past presidents and their team who really did work very hard. Dr. Shanila Latif, Dr. Lubna Naeem, and Dr. Hanif Pathan, and Dr. Rash Khusro, and various other people. And if I not remembering the names, please ignore me and pardon me. But their hard work really got us here. We got the approval from the main APPNA, we got the bylaws written, and since then we are doing very, very well. And in fact, not long ago, we brought a major APPNA event in the city, and inshallah, not in coming time, we intend inviting the main meeting of APPNA in the city, and hopefully in a coming year, in a year or two. The other thing is we are running a very successful election program for this body also, and I'm very grateful for our election committee, Dr. Akhtar Hussain and Dr. Rashid Sharaf, if they are here. Thank you very much, and we hopefully this year also we will be having our election to elect our body for this the South Central APPNA chapter. Once again, like I said, it would be a shortest speech. I don't want to take too much time. Having said that, probably I'm the last speaker, and thanks again and welcome to our program. Thank you.
One last thing I would like to introduce. We have a world-renowned violinist with us today. And I'd like to say a few words to introduce y'all to him. If y'all have ever been to some of the larger meetings, the Executive Committee and Board of Trustees pulls out all the stops in terms of entertainment. So we have with us today Mr. Dilshad Hussain Khan, who's an international violinist, composer, vocalist, and musicologist from Pakistan. He comes from 7 generations of musicians and has studied and traveled worldwide. He plays Western and Eastern classical, jazz, blues, and music from all around the world. He is a 5-time winner of the award and has composed classical music for radio and television. He was the first chair violinist for the Pakistan National Orchestra and is the founder of the Pakistan Chamber Orchestra. And has won the National Award, which is equivalent to the US Grammy Award, big deal, and the President Award. In 2003, he became the only violinist ever to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award in Pakistan.
Well, San Antonio is a fast-growing city where we have a population of over 1 million in the greater San Antonio area. The county is pronounced bear, like the animal, and it's again a fast-growing community. But we have our share of problems. We have crime just in other major urban communities, but we in the DA's office are doing what we can to combat crime, and we're trying to be progressive about the reform measures that we're undertaking under my administration. Well, I believe that physicians in general, and especially Pakistani physicians, are very compassionate people, and they understand the importance of serving the less fortunate and the poor communities. And so that's one of the reasons I'm here, is to support this group, because that's part of my mission, is to provide assistance to those individuals that need helping hand.
Well, very quietly, one by one, each Pakistani family that moves here is taking over San Antonio, and it's beautiful. 20 years ago, this district saw just a small handful of Pakistanis and people from, Asia and Southeast Asia and people from Africa. And now this district, the north side of San Antonio, is the most dense when it comes to people from Asia and Arab countries. And as far as every religious demographic, you're seeing the most diversity up here. It's exciting, and it's no coincidence either that the medical school is up here, all the biotech research is happening up here. The largest employer in all of San Antonio is one of the largest insurance companies in America, and so we've got a lot of IT happening up here. There's a lot of cybersecurity, and quite honestly, this is a city that is the fastest growing city in the entire United States. And in large part, that is because of our Pakistani families and the doctors and the engineers and the Pakistani lawyers and all the different students who are now graduating from high school and college and also coming to school here. And so I think San Antonio is quickly becoming a major destination. Yeah, so the largest employer in San Antonio is USAA insurance company, but the largest employment sector, right, is biotech research and health, which is a very popular... I'm sorry? Military. Yes, and so we are also known as Military City. Military City is because we have multiple military bases here. The Air Force and the Army have huge bases here, and there's about 400,000 people in San Antonio that depend upon the work of the military. So they are either service members or family of service members, or they have jobs that, lend support to those missions. And so many of those families as well are Pakistani, descendants, and they come here to work in cybersecurity jobs, IT, logistics, and biotech and research and medicine. Yeah, I see this as an organization, like I said, 20 years ago, this is an organization that probably would never have been noticed, right, because of how small it was. Today, this is the organization we keep our eyes on because we, elected officials, now know that there's critical mass, right, and that there's exponential growth among the Pakistani community, particularly the very educated and, very excellent credentials. This community is a community that is an economic development generator. So we've got, for example, Dr. Amir, he's making jobs, hundreds of jobs happen in San Antonio. The investment that he brings to San Antonio is in the many, many millions of dollars. That generates economic development throughout the entire community. And so the Pakistani, person isn't just here to add diversity, but they're adding economic success for all of San Antonio. It's very important.
Well, thank you, Waqar Bhai, for coming over all the way from California to Texas again. Today is a continuation of the fundraising and the annual dinner for South Central Texas APPNA chapter at San Antonio. So if you recall, in 2016, we have a APPNA fall meeting, a very successful APPNA fall meeting and very colorful. And we were able to raise about $20,000 at that time for a cause. And the cause was to have a mobile clinic on the behalf of APPNA in San Antonio. So we have been raising funds since then. And today, inshallah, is the last day, hoping that we can complete our target or reach our target to bring the mobile clinic in San Antonio.
देखिए, ये अपना का जो लोकल चैप्टर है, साउथ सेंट्रल टेक्सास चैप्टर, इसका एनुअल बैंक्वेट है एंड इट इज़ फॉर अ कॉज. ये हिस्ट्री इन द मेकिंग. आप यूँ समझ लीजिए कि अपना का जो यूजुअल एक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है एनुअल डिनर्स का, इसमें लोग आते हैं, खाना खाते हैं और फिर थोड़ा सा म्यूज़िक होता है, एंटरटेनमेंट होती है. बट वी हैव डेजिग्नेटेड दिस बैंक्वेट या गैला फॉर अ कॉज, और हमारा जो कॉज है वो मोबाइल हेल्थ क्लिनिक की फंड रेजिंग है. आपको शायद मालूम है कि टेक्सास में तकरीबन 5 मिलियन फोक्स जो हैं वो अंडर इंश्योर्ड या अनइंश्योर्ड हैं. और टेक्सास में 5 मिलियन लोग हैं जिनके पास इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, और कुछ उनमें से ऐसे भी हैं जिनके पास मेडिकेड है या मेडिकेयर है. अब आपको मालूम है मेडिकेयर और मेडिकेड के बजट कट्स के साथ ये लोग और इनकी तादाद में और भी इजाफा हो गया है. एंड इट इज़ कॉस्टिंग आवर इकॉनमी बिलियंस एंड बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स. ये इनके आप तकरीबन ये सोच लिए $327 बिलियन इट कॉस्ट दैट मच। तो जो हमारा लोकल चैप्टर है वो कुछ करना चाहता है अपनी लोकल कम्युनिटीज़ के लिए, और तकरीबन टेक्सास के जितने भी अनइंश्योर्ड लोग हैं उसमें मोस्टली साउथ टेक्सास में लोग हैं। तो ये हमारी कोशिश है कि हम अपनी थोड़ी कंट्रीब्यूशन करें
इस कंट्री को दें,
इस कंट्री को। वी नीड टू गिव इट बैक टू द कंट्री एंड हेल्प गेट दीज फोक्स गेट सम काइंड ऑफ प्रिवेंटिव केयर, जिससे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ना हो, डायबिटीज़, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, कोलेस्ट्रॉल, या फिर कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग या पॉइंट ऑफ केयर लैब्स। और हमारी जो मोबाइल क्लिनिक होगी वो डिज़ास्टर रिलीफ के लिए भी हम उसको यूज़ करेंगे, रेफ्यूजी कैंप्स में भी यूज़ होगी, और ये बेयर काउंटी और जिसकी लोकल सराउंडिंग एरियाज है उसको सर्व करेगी।
तो ये सेकंड लेग ऑफ फंडिंग है। You have done before.
Yes, we have done it before. Yes. So this is a perfect time. ये हॉलीडे का सीज़न है, ये हमारी हॉलीडे पार्टी भी आप इसको कह सकते हैं। तो this time of the year it's all about giving back as well. So we thought this was a perfect time for us to give back to the communities and raise some funds to complete our project. So we are very proud of this chapter, this community. इनके माशाल्लाह बहुत बड़ा दिल है, तो we are hoping that we are going to meet our target today, inshallah.
Yeah, so this is an APPNA chapter, sub-society. We raising funds for a mobile clinic. We already have a free clinic that we serve this community, people without insurance. So we are doing a fundraiser. This is also our annual banquet. And this chapter covers Austin, San Antonio, and Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, and so we have several hundred physicians of Pakistani origin here, so this is the occasion.
So what the future plan, being as a president, where you want to take this APPNA chapter?
Yeah, the chapter is already doing a lot of welfare projects. We do diabetes prevention, childhood obesity prevention, and basically mentoring of the youth. That is our main focus. So we help high school, middle school, to all the way up to medical residency level students.
Very good.
Yeah, and to enter medical careers. So that's our main focus. Yeah, and then all our clinics, practices, laboratories that we own in the community, we get these students in, mentor them, and prepare them to compete.
OPTV, आपका अपना चैनल।
Kaba Fusion is a pharmacist-owned, patient-focused team of professionals with over 30 years' experience providing intravenous medication to patients in the comfort of their own home. Founded by Dr. Sohail Masood, Kaba Fusion has 7 state-of-the-art pharmacies located across the country. Visit us at kabafusion.com to learn more about the benefits of in-home infusion therapy.
Arkansas Spine and Pain, we love being a part of the family that is our great state. Our mission is to help every family we can live pain-free lives so you can get back to taking hikes, walking the dog, giving your kids and grandkids piggyback rides. Give us a call today at Arkansas Spine and Pain and get out of the cycle of agony you're in. You deserve to get your life back ASAP.
OPTV की फखरिया पेशकश। दुनिया भर में आबाद पाकिस्तानियों की तरक्की और कामरानी पर मबनी प्रोग्राम। पाकिस्तान को तरक्की की राह पर गामजन करने के लिए दुनिया भर में पाकिस्तानी मुतहर्रिक और तैयार। दुनिया भर के मुल्कों में पाकिस्तानी का उनकी तरक्की में हिस्सा देखिए। बैनुल अक़वामी मंजर में पाकिस्तानियों का समाजी, सियासी, तिजारती और मजहबी उमूर में भरपूर किरदार।